Today we're going to do angles review through IXL. So you're going to find the missing measure of adjacent, vertical, complementary, and supplementary angles. As always, don't forget your do now. Watch this video because it has IXL examples. I did IXL myself all the way up through the challenge zone, so I took examples directly from IXL to help you work through them. And then submit the Google form after the IXL is completed. The IXL is W17. On the Google form, I also put 5 problems. Each problem will add a point to your IXL score for 5 points on your score. So if you get IXL up to an 80 and you get the 5 correct, you'll get an 85 in gradebook. After you're done with IXL and the 5 problems on the form, please submit the reflection to let me know what you need help with. If you look below at these 2 examples, these are angles that are not complementary or supplementary. They are just 2 angles that are adjacent or next to each other. So in that case, if we look at the first example, the one to your left, we need to know the total measure of the angle. Well, if you look at your first angle, it's 30 degrees, and the second angle is 40 degrees. So if you add the 30-degree angle and the 40-degree angle, the total measure is 70 degrees because 30 plus 40 is 70. So now the same thing for the right, but you know the total angle is 80 degrees. That is for the whole outside. We know the small piece is 27. So we just need to figure out what the missing piece, or K, is. So we would subtract 27 from 80, and we get K to equal 53. So the same thing with these examples. We've done them in the past, but I just want to review because you will see it on IXL. So if you know the measure of an angle is 134 degrees, and you need to find the angle that is supplementary to it, you know 134 plus another angle has to equal the 180 because it's supplementary. So you subtract the 134 from both sides, and you know the supplementary angle is 46 degrees. Okay. The same thing for the next example. You know the measure of an angle is 86 degrees, and we want the complementary angle. So we know by definition complementary is 90. So I subtract 86, and I always let x be the unknown angle. So the unknown angle is 4 degrees because together 86 and 4 equal 90. Another review is given an angle. If we look at this angle, these 3 angles form a straight line, so they're supplementary. So we just have to find the missing value of C. We know 85 and 8/10 plus C plus 62 and 7/10 has to form the straight line or the supplementary angle of 180. We combine our like terms, 85 and 8/10 and 62 and 7/10, and we get 148 and 5/10 plus C has to equal 180. So we subtract 148 and 5/10 from 180. 148 and 5/10. And we find out that C equals 31 and 5/10, this missing angle. Okay, vertical angles. So remember, vertical angles are equal. So if we look at this example, we have this green angle that is vertical to this blue angle that I just drew. The blue angle is 75, but the green vertical part is 30 plus B. So we have to do 30 plus B has to be equal because vertical angles are equal to the 75. So I subtract 30 from both sides, and I get B to equal 45 degrees. If we look off to the right, I'll do another one like that. We need to find Z. So we look, right? We have vertical angles here. The red is vertical to the green, right? And 50 angle is vertical to this green 50. But I know it's a right angle. Z and the 50 form 90 degrees. So I know Z plus 50, I see my square, so it's 90 degrees, equals 90. I subtract 50 from both sides, so I know Z equals 40 degrees. The hardest part of the IXL is going to be the word problem. So let's look at this one. An angle measures 10 more than the measure of its complementary angle. So we always have two angles. The first one is 10 more than the complementary angle. So we don't know the complementary angle, we know the first one is 10 more. If they're complementary, their sum is 90. So we combine them, so you get 10 plus 2x equals 90. This is a two-step equation. So I solve and I get 80 equals 2x. So x equals 40. So the first angle, if I sub x back in, the first angle is 50 degrees. The second angle is 40 degrees. I'm going to show you one more like that. So we have two angles always, right? In this case, an angle measures 114 less than the measure of its supplementary angle. So we know they're going to be 180. We don't know the measure of the second angle, but we know the other one is 114 degrees less. So we let that be x minus 114. Then we set up our equation, we combine it, so we get 2x minus 114 equals 180. We add 114 to both sides, and we get 294 equals 2x. We divide by 2 to both sides, and we get x to equal 147. Now, that is the measure of one of the angles. But you have to remember, we have to sub it in. So we get the first angle is 147. The second angle, we sub 147 in for x. And we do 147 minus 114. And we get the second angle to be 33. Okay? The last example is the same as the two that we've just done. It says the measure of an angle is 9 times the measure of its supplementary angle. So we know it's going to be 180 degrees. We don't know the second angle, but we know the first one is 9 times the measure. So we let that be 9x. The total would be 10x. I divide by 10, I divide by 10. But it wants to know the measure of each angle. So don't forget, after I find x to equal 18, I'm not done. The first angle is 18. The second angle is 9 times 18, or 162. So the answer would be 18 and 162, because together they're supplementary and they're 180 degrees. As always, please try your best. If you need help, it's best you join Google Meet at 10 a.m. I'll help you live. Use your notes and examples. Remember, there are 5 problems on the Google form to complete. Each problem is worth 1 point and will be added to your IXL score. Have a good day.